Hello, my name is Nishat Noor and welcome to Millennium Headlines. This week's top headlines are: more than 700 workers to help with California oil spill cleanup. Darren Dillon Wint, DC quadruple murder suspect, captured by police. Motorcycle rallies to honor Memorial Day nationwide amid tight security. Hundreds protest Washington police wounding of 2 unarmed suspects. Southeast India heat wave kills about 230 in past 5 weeks. Islamic State group radio claims Sally Moss suicide attack. Promise more black days for Shiites. President Obama's weekly address. The number of workers cleaning the coastline after the Santa Barbara County oil spill is expected to swell to more than 700 Friday, as the response continues to ramp up, officials said. Workers have rescued 5 brown pelicans as well as a juvenile sea lion partially covered in oil. The birds have been taken to a facility in San Pedro, and sea lion was taken to SeaWorld for rehabilitation, said California Department of Fish and Wildlife Captain Mark Crossland. The female sea lion, estimated to be 1 to 4 years old, was taken to SeaWorld San Diego late Thursday emaciated and with a large amount of oil on its body, face, and flippers. Members of SeaWorld's rescue team immediately began washing the oil off the animal. A blood sample was taken for examination, and SeaWorld veterinarians and animal care specialists are cautiously optimistic about her chances for survival and recovery. So far, the Unified Command in charge of a Refugio State beach recovery effort has not asked SeaWorld to deploy its team to the site, but SeaWorld remains ready, parks officials said. U.S. Coast Guard Jennifer Williams said there has been an overwhelming response from the public to volunteer, but for now only trained responders and scientists will be working to clean up the crude. The oil spill occurred Tuesday when a 24-inch wide pipe installed in 1987 ruptured and poured up to 105,000 gallons of crude into a culvert, with an estimated 21,000 gallons making its way into the Pacific Ocean. About 9,500 gallons of an oily water mix have been recovered from the ocean, and more than 4,500 feet of boom has been deployed to contain the oil, officials said. The police wanted in a quadruple homicide at a Washington, D.C. mansion has been captured after a manhunt that spread over several states. Darren Dillon Wint, 34, of Maryland, was taken into custody around 10:45 p.m. on Thursday in Northeast Washington. U.S. Marshal Service spokesman David Newman told the Associated Press. Wint is suspected in the May 14 killings of Sava Sapoulis, 46, Amy Sapoulis, their 10-year-old son Philip, and housekeeper Valencia Figuera, 57. The family's $4.5 million home was set on fire, and a large amount of cash as well as family's car side was stolen. The blue 2008 Porsche 911 was later recovered, torched in a church parking lot 13 miles from the home. Wint reportedly worked as a welder at American Iron Works from 2003 to 2005, where the victim, Savas, served as CEO. A pizza delivery from Domino's was made to the home at roughly 9 p.m., and it's believed the family was kept bound in their home overnight on May 13. Approximately $40,000 was withdrawn from an American Iron Works account and delivered to the home the next day. Soon after it arrived, the building was set ablaze. Motorcycles will roar in Memorial Day weekend rallies amid heightened tension after a biker gang shootout left 9 people dead in Texas. The massacre in Waco, which was triggered by feuding biker gangs, left the community stunned. Law enforcement authorities are on alert following what they say are threats against officers from biker groups in the wake of the attacks, and the motorcycle enthusiasts plan to gather around the nation to mark Memorial Day. Authorities are keeping a wary eye on the events. Law enforcement officials on Friday released surveillance video from a grocery store that is part of an investigation of an officer-involved shooting that wounded two men who were suspected of trying to steal beer. The video released by the Thurston County Sheriff's Office in Washington State shows two young black men walking into a store holding skateboards. About 230 people have died since mid-April in a heat wave sweeping two southeast Indian states, officials said Saturday. More than 100 people have died from the brutal heat in Andhra Pradesh state in the last week, Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, the state's top elected official, told reporters. In neighboring Telangana state, around 130 heat-related deaths have been reported since April 15th, and Bambal Ran Meena, a top state official. Day temperatures in Telangana's Khammam district soared to more than 48 degrees Celsius, which is 118 Fahrenheit, on Saturday. Meena says 16 people have died in the district as a result of heat in the past 3 days. Health authorities have asked people not to go outside at midday to avoid getting sunstroke due to high temperatures and blistering winds. We are urging people to take all necessary precautions and drink lots of water, Naidu said. Roads and markets were deserted in all of the major cities and towns in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh on Saturday, with people staying indoors to avoid the heat. Weather authorities said the high temperatures will likely continue for at least another week. They said the situation should improve with the approaching monsoon rains, which usually reach the southeastern coast in the first week of June. The Islamic State group claimed responsibility for a suicide bombing in a Shia mosque in Saudi Arabia, warning that more black days loom ahead in a direct challenge to the rulers of the Sunni kingdom. Friday's attack was the kingdom's deadliest militant assault since 2004 Al-Qaeda attack on foreign workers' compounds, which sparked a massive Saudi security force crackdown. The statement on the Islamic State group's Al-Bayan radio station read aloud Friday night and posted Saturday morning to militant websites associated with the extremists, identified the suicide bombers as a Saudi citizen with the non-Degur Abu Amir al-Najidi. The station also identified the attack as being carried out by a new Islamic State branch in Najd province, referring to the historic region of the Central Arabian Peninsula, home to the Saudi capital Riyadh. The mosque attack killed at least 21 people and wounded 81, the official Saudi press agency reported. In this week's address, the president commemorated Memorial Day by paying tribute to the men and women in uniform who have given their lives in the service of our country. The president will spend the first Memorial Day since the end of the war in Afghanistan at Arlington Cemetery, remembering the more than 2,200 American patriots who gave their lives in the conflict, as well as all of our fallen soldiers. The president asked all that Americans spend Monday honoring the memory and sacrifice of those heroes and remain committed to the cause of freedom and the country for which they fought.
That we're a country where no matter who we are or where we come from or what we look like or who we love, if we work hard and take responsibility, every American will have the opportunity to make of our lives what we will. Let's stand united with our allies in Europe and beyond on behalf of our common values, freedom, their forms, so that we give meaning to that pledge, never forget, never again.
Now the details to this week's top headlines. More than 700 workers to help with California oil spill cleanup. Darren Dillon Wint, D.C. quadruple murder suspect, captured by police. Motorcycle rallies to honor Memorial Day nationwide amid tight security. Hundreds protest Washington police wounding of 2 unarmed suspects. Southeast India heat wave kills about 230 in past 5 weeks. Islamic State group radio claims Sally Ma's suicide attack. Promise more black days for Shiites. President Obama's weekly address. Thank you for watching Millennium Headlines. See you next week.